Hello everyone and welcome to IVSA Bedar's official YouTube channel Pashuvani. Pashuvani is a platform that provides you with veterinary education. Our video series consists of practical relevant lecture videos, field approach clinical aspects, guide and tip for future careers, smart content related to both animal and veterinary science. We believe sharing is caring, so please like, comment and subscribe for further updates. And now, let's welcome our speaker of today's episode of Saturday's Sharing.
Hello everyone, myself Sahiti. I am a fourth year veterinary student studying in Veterinary College Bidar. Today I am here for giving brief explanation on the topic anestrus in cows and buffaloes. It is one of the cause of functional infertility. It is simply animals not returning to estrus. Anestrus is considered to be one of the biggest cause of reproductive failures in calves, especially in developing countries and calves located in the rural areas. Moving on to the next slide, the definition of anestrus is the cow is not observed in the estrus either because she has not come into estrus or because of failure to detect the estrus. The anestrus is classified into two categories, physiological one and pathological one. Prepubertal anestrus, pregnancy anestrus, postpartum anestrus, they are physiological one. In prepubertal anestrus, which affects the heifers, it could be because of a poor management of heifers. And heifers are not well fed or they are not receiving green fodder. Then debilitating diseases like BVD or poor nutrition and it may be due to abnormal reproductive tracts. During pregnancy, there will be high concentration of progesterone, which has negative feedback on hypothalamo-pituitary axis, with the result that follicular activity in the ovaries of full-term pregnant cows is minimal. And estrus cycles which cease during pregnancy, they do not resume immediately after the calving. Anestrus continues after parturition because of progesterone exposure during pregnancy, and it may be due to lack of estradiol positive feedback. A period of postpartum anovulatory anestrus, it is a normal aspect of bovine reproduction. However, anestrus becomes a problem when it extends into the period when animals need to be rebred. When this occurs, it is considered to be pathological one and it needs treatment. The pathological anestrus is further classified into two classes, the class 1 with functional CL and class 2 without functional CL. So let's talk about the class 1. It is also called as false anestrus. In this, persistent CL is characteristic feature. The anestrus may be caused due to the conditions like pyometra. In this, the endometrium gets inflamed and in mummification of fetal membranes, intrauterine death of the fetus will be there and absorption of all fluid part, only dry compacted mass will be present. Animal consider itself as a pregnant and CL is persistent. In maceration, it is a sequel to fetal mummification. In this, intrauterine death of the fetus will be there and cervix will be open. So bacteria gain entry into the uterus and they cause putrefaction of the fetus and only bony parts will remain. The hydrometra and mucometra, they are sequelae to follicular cysts and aplasia of endometrial glands, it is a congenital one. In uterine unicornis, affected horn cannot produce PGF2 alpha, so CL cannot be lysed. And diagnosis for false anestrus can be made based on 2 to 3 times palpation. The treatment aspect includes for persistent CL, exogenous supply of PGF2 alpha, either natural one like dinoprost 25 mg per animal and synthetic PGF2 alpha like cloprostenol sodium 500 mcg per animal can be given and manual removal of CL can also be practiced. For treating pyometra, along with PGF2 alpha, antibiotics and vitamin A, E and selenium are supplemented. In some cases, supportive therapy is also given. Moving on to the next class, that is class 2. In this, functional CL will be absent. It is also called as true anestrus or anovulatory anestrus. In this condition, ovaries are quiescent and flat ovaries will be present. It is due to maybe negative energy balance. This condition is most prevalent in high yielding dairy cows and first calf heifers and suckler cows. The reason for true anestrus is insufficient release of GnRH. Anovulatory anestrus is a multifactorial problem. The major predisposing factors includes breed, season, species, malnutrition, debilitating diseases, lactation and suckling, lameness, and environmental factors. In breed, the time taken for re-establishment of estrus cycles after calving is generally longer in beef breeds than in dairy breeds. The season undoubtedly affect the prevalence of anestrus, although its effects vary by geographical location depending on the interaction between climate, day length, and state of nutrition. Imbalances between the energy requirement for lactation and energy available in the feed are probably the main cause of anestrus. The stress produced by the group and space management of animals are widely considered to be a significant contributor to anestrus. The physical stressors such as transport, temperature, and handling may be also contribute to anestrus. In lactation and suckling, prolactin suppresses GnRH secretion and it causes negative energy balance. In lameness, due to stress, there will be release of cortisone and it has negative effect on the GnRH release. Environmental factors like high temperature, high humidity has a significant effect. And debilitating diseases like parasitism, tuberculosis, pneumonia, ketosis, and etc. They predispose to anestrus. This is the flowchart of the factors responsible for the anovulatory anestrus. Moving on to the diagnosis. The diagnosis for true anestrus is made based on the history of the clinical history. If she has not seen in the estrus since the time of calving or started having estrus cycles but has subsequently stopped, and animal will be presented for pregnancy diagnosis but it is found to be non-pregnant. And after doing parectal examination, smaller or flatter ovaries will be palpated and follicles may be palpated but they are less than prematuration size and CL will be absent. It is a characteristic feature. For confirmation, USG can also be used for measuring the follicular size. And repeated palpation after 10 days is carried out for confirmation. Milk or blood progesterone tests can help to determine whether the luteal activity is present or absent. And next, moving on to the management and treatment. How we manage the true anestrus. Anovulatory anestrus in herd is best managed by identification and correction of the predisposing factors. The first line of treatment includes improved feeding and micronutrient deficiencies can be corrected, stress should be reduced. The incidence of lameness can be best managed by proper management practices. The treatment aspects includes hormonal therapy like GnRH injection 20 mcg of buserelin acetate and synchronization techniques like PRID and SIDAR can be practiced. First method, PRID. It is a progesterone releasing intravaginal device. It is a stainless steel flat coil coated with an inert silicone rubber incorporating 1.55 grams of the progesterone. It contains 10 mg of estradiol benzoate. It is left in situ for 12 days and then withdrawn. Estrus occurs in 2 to 3 days after withdrawal. Fixed time artificial insemination can be done at 48 to 72 hours or 56 hours after the implant withdrawal. And the next method is SIDAR. It is controlled internal drug releasing device. It is inserted intravaginally and there are two versions of the SIDAR. Canada version containing 1.9 grams of the progesterone and US version containing 1.38 grams of the progesterone. On day 0, it is inserted, kept for 7 days. After 7th day, it is removed. And on the 7th day, PGF2 alpha injection is given. It causes luteolysis of the functional CL and animal returns to estrus. From day 7th to day 12th, animal is kept for heat detection. After that, fixed time artificial insemination is done at 72 hours or 96 hours after PGF2 alpha injection or 84 hours after PGF2 alpha injection can be done. The control methods for true anestrus includes balanced nutrition, regular deworming and proper management and regular disease should be treated properly. Moving on to the anistrus in buffaloes. In buffaloes during summer, anistrus is common. It is also called as silent heat or subestrus. It is a physiological one. The reason may be heat stress or deficiency of microminerals. The diagnosis is based on history of prolonged anistrus, and by per rectal examination, Cl can be palpated. If the animal is in estrus, the tumification of vulval lips, pink vaginal mucous membrane, open cervix, and uterine horns will be tonic, and ovary with large follicles. If the animal is in luteal phase, there will be small or mature follicles and a functional Cl will be present. Subtonic or atonic uterus is noticed. The treatment includes rule out the managemental factors, and estrus detection error should be ruled out. Supplementation of balanced nutrition along with mineral mixture. If the animal is in estrus, go for AI. In this sub-estrus or silent heat, animal will be under cyclic, but they do not show the signs. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain this topic.